Hi guys, this is Ariel, TRT podcast. I am here with a person. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dahlia, and I'm Ariel's friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so, here, let me just point this out. First name basis, so then there's no creepy stalkers.
Yeah.
Like just searching up on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. So, how was your day? We're gonna start off with that.
My day has been pretty good. I came here around 11. So far we've done a lot of stuff. We got some food. We took your dog for a walk, and I've been having a pretty good morning so far.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have exciting news today. She's smiling. Oh my god.
You want to tell them?
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna see the BTS concert!
Yay!
Tell them which one, specifics.
So we are going to be going to the BTS 2019 Speak Yourself tour.
Yes. We're kind of intimidated because it's such a huge...
It's a really big thing. We're going through
Yeah.
a lot of eras from their time during music.
Oh yeah. And we talked about in the past how BTS is such an inspirational group.
Yeah, they don't just make music. They kind of have messages behind the music. They try to be as interactive with their fans as they possibly can.
Yeah. And they spread messages right.
They were invited to the UN for a reason. So they kind of have this whole thing of love yourself and love myself. So it's kind of always have self-worth. Never see yourself in a bad light.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. They're a really good group.
Yeah, we love them.
We love them. Let's see, how's my day going? Thank you for asking.
How was your day?
My day's pretty good. I'm really hungry today for no reason. I don't know why. I'm feeling nice and calm. Surprisingly, Heidi isn't here with us.
Sadly.
Yeah, she's usually here for the podcast, but nope, it's just me and Dahlia.
Hello.
Yes. So, this is free talk,
Yeah, just, having some fun, not really anything too crazy.
Uh-huh.
So what do you want to talk about, Ariel?
So more like you decided. I like any topic. How high school pressures students.
Yes.
And this can be a really big topic if you choose it to be, but I feel like we're both really direct people.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely pinpoint a lot of things.
So, how do you want to start off this talk?
It's like you're the director. I don't own this podcast anymore. Now it's Dahlia's. Thank you for watching.
Hey guys, welcome to a Dahlia podcast.
So we could start off with whatever your general opinion is, and then we could kind of bounce off that.
So my general opinion on this topic, because it's a big topic, is that I guess it really depends on which grade you're in, your experience in school, and kind of which school you go to. Based on my experiences, I don't really think that our high school understands how much pressure students really go through, especially as a freshman, because you're still trying to get into high school, you're trying to get comfortable, understand the new setting you're in, and basically try to survive your first year of high school. And I think our classes, although they're not as bad as other classes, they're still pretty intense, and they don't really understand that some people have families that they need to spend time with and stuff like that. So it's a lot of demanding things.
Yeah. And I think a lot of schools are like that, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But I know our school's really good education wise. Yeah. I know we're ahead of a lot of schools, even though surprisingly we're a public school.
Exactly.
And we're good, which is very weird. But I would say, I just had an idea. I would say that because we're gonna have more of an official video for this, but that the 100-year-old school system hasn't changed because it's 100 years old or even over. So it's just that because that's not changing, we're not as successful. Yeah. I feel like our generation is still might be, you know, a little stuck because this is kind of holding us back of this like pressure and tension.
See, like, it's good that you brought that up because, like, in my opinion, and I know that some people might think I'm being problematic or something, but I don't think that that's a fair decision to stick to the same routine for education. Not. Like, because our generation, as it progresses, we keep changing, we keep advancing. Like, I can promise you 10 years ago, we didn't have the same technology we have today. So, like, for them to just continue using the exact same method of teaching, it's not, like, showing your generation what they can do with what they currently have. Yeah, they have tech classes where they show us how to do this with your Chromebook or how to do that.
And like, we do have Chromebooks. I mean, supplies-wise, we have upgraded, but not, like, restructuring the whole system.
It's kind of like...
We've kept it the same, which is really disappointing.
Physically, we're advancing, but mentally, we're not.
Yeah.
Because what they taught us this year, they taught the exact same students 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't really think it's a smart decision, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a really big and complicated topic because a lot of teachers kind of brush off this idea was like, well, you know, it's working fine now, but the thing is it might not work fine now. It probably isn't gonna have like its fall because we've kept it so long the same way. So with one thing not changing, it must fall at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because, like, when one class teaches us something and you progress to the next year, you want to find new ways to learn about it. Because, like, for example, when you're in math or algebra class, if your teacher is showing you how to solve something...
Yeah, I know what you're talking... We have the same teacher for algebra.
Exactly, yeah. Like,
she knows... Yeah.
We kind of have a lot of teachers. We have the same physics teacher, same algebra teacher. So those are pretty important classes, and the techniques they show us, they're good and they help us solve things, but because they're old, they're really confusing.
Like, I think it's the way the teachers present, like how they decide to teach the students that really affects us because they're not teaching it the best they can. They're not fully aware of the students and what they need to get their attention.
They kind of brush off the student.
They do.
With just the focus of, we have this topic, we have this amount of time to learn it, let's just do it.
And I have to get paid. Well, no, I'm not going to say that, but you know what I mean? Like, just the focus that they think us as students, we're perfect, and our attention span is limitless.
Well, I don't think it's because they think that we're perfect. It's just that maybe because the teacher has knowledge about it, they forget that we don't.
Yeah, I agree with you. Take back what I said. But... Yeah, what Dahlia said, that they kind of forget about us along the way, well, like in their lessons, and they kind of forget that we might not be the best, like, listeners or, I don't know, like, watchers.
Not everyone is on the same, like, yeah, you're in the same class, but not everyone's on the same level.
Yeah.
Like, for a test that you could have gotten 100 on, I could have gotten a 70 on. So, like, not everyone's going to progress the same way, so I think that it's the teacher's job as, I guess,
to get our attention.
The educator. Yeah. To make sure that students that need more attention than students who don't get that. And, like, this is kind of probably just me, but when you're in class and the teacher, like, says, who can solve this problem, when they call on the same person, it feels really bad because you're like, oh, that's their favorite student or something. Yeah. Because I used to be in a class where if a girl wanted to do something, the teacher would be like, oh, yeah, sure, go ahead. And if another kid wanted to do it, she'd be like, no. So, like, it really puts that thing of favoritism in your head, and it's not a good feeling.
No, because it's like a mini monarchy. Think about it. I'm going to point this out. It's like a mini monarchy. Like, each
really
class,
is.
Like, you have, you know, the teacher, which is the king or queen, and then you have the sub-teacher, if there is, which is, like, the joker or whatever. No, I'm joking. Is, like, I don't know, like, the assistant. And then we have all the students, which is below, but still there's, like, a mini monarch going. And that really, I think our power, or, like, that want for power and even in, like, the most simplest of ways, like, in a classroom, like, could really take over.
Like, remember that conversation we had about that one kid who was limited to a certain amount of questions?
Yeah, that's not... I mean, we both have different views of what we would do to improve. Like, I always think during algebra what I wouldn't be. Like her, like our teacher, I would not be a teacher like her, and how I would improve my teaching if I were her.
So, like, for this situation, we're not going to say any names, but we have a student in our class who has a tendency to talk more than others.
Does he have autism, or is it just another
I'm not sure.
mental?
But he likes to, like, he's really smart, and he has some good ideas, but sometimes he just talks too much, and that's understandable. People like to talk.
Yeah.
But it's just that the teachers,
I think
it's not just in algebra, it's in algebra and English, it's in all the classes.
Yeah.
So they limit him to
so much.
Only 3 questions per class. And if he has a comment on something, he has to write it down.
And they say they would read it later, but it's such a lie.
They never do.
I mean, here, what would you do? I want to talk about this. What would you do? Like, how would you change your actions to improve a student's, like, attention or whatever?
Well, if I was a teacher, I guess I would also be happy that my student wants to, like, volunteer and participate in class, because that's good. Like, if you have a question, I want to help you. And, like, if it's something that's, like, not, like, what's it called? It's not according to class, like, it doesn't have anything to do with what we're teaching, I would tell him, write it down, and then after class, me and you can just, like, go privately and talk about it.
Yeah.
But if he has a question, it's your job as a teacher to make sure that you know what the question is and to help them.
I mean, our algebra teacher, like, shuts him down immediately and, like, yells at him. And it's not fair. It really isn't.
It's just, like, our sub-teacher, she's not as bad. Like,
she's really nice.
She'll entertain the idea, but our main teacher, like, if, let's say, he calls out or something, she'll immediately shut him down. She's like, hey, stop talking, write it down. And
yeah, I already told you this, like, yelled at him. And then if, like, one of us asks, she's like,
oh, yeah, go ahead. And it's kind of unfair, because, like, yeah, everyone's different. Not everyone has the same mindset. Not everyone has the same personality. But, like, you're a teacher, and your student needs to ask you something to help make their brain stay focused on what they're learning. If you're not letting them if you're not letting them ask what they need to ask, then you're not teaching. In a way, you're kind of dictating, because you're stopping them from saying what needs to be said, and in a way, you're kind of silencing their voice.
Yeah, so my computer did this. So, like, it's like, yeah, it's like kind of like a dictatorship. I'm trying to think. It's kind of like a dictatorship and taking control of a student's life. And it's just stupid because, like, what about if you want to double check you understand the material, right? And maybe you have a memory problem. I mean, I have bad memory, but I've improved. But, like, I always check with teachers, am I doing this right? Did I understand it right? But it's just, like, the idea that she shuts it down every time is just not fair.
Like, in my algebra class, our algebra class, our teacher, she's a good teacher. Like, she teaches well, she has good techniques. They always, like, show us 2 different techniques, which one's easier. Like, you know how during math, you'll do, like, the box method? Yeah. I don't do the box method.
I don't do it. But, like, we're showing an example.
Yeah, so, like, if she did that and I didn't, it's 2 different techniques that will give you the same outcome. But, like, set aside the fact that they're good teachers. If you're not going to be interactive with your student, then you shouldn't be teaching.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can be smart, but if you're not nice, there's no point in being smart.
Yeah.
I guess, in a way.
Like, for example, Einstein didn't know how to tie his shoes. But he was extremely smart everywhere else. So, if you, like, not outdo, but, like, you do great in something, like, beyond, like, excellent, whatever, and then you, without a doubt, will suck at something else, because that's just how life works. But,
like, no one's gonna be perfect at everything. Like, people are gonna have to struggle at some point in their life, and if you don't, something's probably wrong, because you need to struggle or else you'll never know success.
Because they're not trying anything.
Exactly.
They're not taking risks or believing in themselves. Like, that's simple. It could be really simple. That's causing your life to be so monotoned.
Like, taking a risk, it could seem scary and you might not try, but you fall 7 times and you stand up 8. Like, you're gonna fail at stuff in your life, but that's fine, because if you don't fail, you'll never know success.
Yeah, and I felt like she doesn't, like, I feel like no one told her that, saying you kind of suck at teaching, but you could always be better.
Actually, I remember one time I was in the bathroom and I was in a stall and I heard her come in. She sat in the stall next to me. She's talking to her sister, who also teaches at our school. And I hear
Really? Is it her?
Yeah, I heard her voice, and when I came out, I was washing my hands, she came out too. I heard her talking bad about some students. She was saying
No way.
Oh, this student, he's just like not as smart as everyone in the class. I don't understand why he doesn't do anything. And I'm like,
it's because it's you.
I'm like, wow, I did not, like, I expected I know every teacher's not gonna like every single student they have, but
yeah,
you should never talk about them behind their back, especially if they're incapable of doing something.
I had a math teacher in sixth grade.
Mm-hmm.
I really sucked at math in 6th grade. 7th grade, everything got better for me. I got better in English, math, whatever, because like I said, I had a problem. But in math, so I was really sucking at math. I did horrible. And this teacher, another student, said she heard about my 6th grade math teacher talking about me behind her back, but behind my back, I mean, and talking about how I was a sucker student and I didn't do my work. But the truth is, I did my work. It's just I didn't know how to do it. So it's just like the point of getting out of your comfort zone to help others in need, and not putting like others, what's it called? Like others, maybe they're smarter than other people. Like others.
People are on different stepping stones.
Yeah, like you said.
Yeah.
I can't say anything today, but yeah.
The excitement is just flushing my mind.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
Just because everyone's on different levels, but acknowledging that someone may be on the lowest level really takes a lot, I guess, for a teacher, because they're always on a roll with like lessons and they don't want to stop for anyone. So I guess they kind of get angry at that, that someone is left behind and they have really nothing to do about it. It's just the way they learn.
Like, I remember a long time ago, like when I was first getting to elementary school, I had the smallest, but you could tell it was there. I had a lisp. So I couldn't pronounce, and I still kind of have it for some certain words, but I got over it because I took like classes. And
Speech.
I remember an English teacher, whenever I would walk into class, she would give me this weird look, and if we had to read something, she would always make me feel so bad about it, because, like, for an example, we once read a book about snakes, and I couldn't pronounce the S's, and then, like, all the kids, they would, like, laugh and, like, joke around. I thought it was funny, but then she pulled me aside one day, and she told me, like, God, Dahlia, I don't understand, like, what's wrong with you. You can't speak like a normal person.
Really?
And it, because especially,
like, how did you say your S's?
Like, I can actually do a perfect impression. I used to go, like, snake.
Oh, so you couldn't.
Exactly.
Snakes.
I couldn't pronounce it.
So what? Say snakes then.
Snakes. That's how I used to say it.
Oh my god.
So.
No, I mean, now it's like perfect.
Exactly. But there are still some words I can't pronounce. And like my current English teacher, when she notices that, she'll walk over and help me learn how to say it, like fix my tongue, like put my mouth a certain way where it won't like get in the way.
Yeah, like what words do you have hard?
Like sometimes I can't, like, this is a Vine that I once saw. It's a word, and iridotheclitis.
Iridotheclitis?
Yeah, I say iridotheclitis. I can't say it.
Well, you can't say iridotheclitis.
Iridotheclitis.
Wait, are you ready?
Iridotheclitis.
No. Iridotheclitis.
I can't say it.
Iridotheclitis.
So she tries to help me.
I don't blame you. It sounds really cute. I'm not gonna.
So my old teacher, she would always put me down. She's like, oh my god, you can't say words like these. You won't be as good as the other readers, blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I completely proved her wrong. Because, like, I have a 107 in my English class right now. That's 7 points over 100. and I'm one of the top leaders in my class. Sorry, leaders. I meant readers. So, like, I can now, like, read, like, old-timey language like Romeo and Juliet without even having to stop and figure out a word.
Yeah.
So, I guess it kind of, like, when teachers are mean to you and they make you feel like you can't do something, it's that extra kick in the butt to, like, kind of push you to prove them wrong.
I always do. I mean, I had a big time with that. A big time with that. I mean, when I had a really hard time in class, like, all the teachers really did not like me because of learning. But they liked me as a kid because I was a really good kid. It's just learning, like I said, I have a learning disability. So it just really, it always pushed me to go forward. But, like, a lot of teachers were rude to me at times. And I always wanted to prove them wrong. Like, it's so much pressure that they give students with, like, learning disabilities. Like more like disapprovement. Like, show heavy disapprovement if you're not like another kid. But the thing is, today I'm like, I think I'm decently smart.
I think you're really smart. Like, you get really good grades in algebra.
Yeah, and it's just, like, I don't know. It's a mix, but teachers are really, they're really, like, intense when they show, like, disapproval. So I always, try to, I guess, kind of comfort them when the truth is I should be comforting myself. So teachers, like, pressuring other students could be a really bad thing, because I feel like I had, like, the first point of view of it, because I've definitely dealt with, like, rude teachers. I'm not afraid to go to the counselor because just of that. But, like, even with my speaking today, like, sometimes I have to stop because, like, I can't speak it. Like, I'm pretty sure you noticed.
It takes you a little while, yeah.
Like, it takes me a little bit to form the words.
Like, you know what it is you're trying to say, but you can't find it. So it takes a little bit to, like, go through your mind.
I bet you understand it more than anything.
Yeah, I really
so it's like, I roll over my words, or, like, I say a different word. Or I have to stop in the middle of the sentence, rethink, then say it. But, like, sometimes when I read Romeo and Juliet, I have to stop, but I'm really flowy with it. It's just...
It's kind of like... Stop. When you read something, like, if someone was going to read me the lyrics to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you grew up knowing that, so it's easy to just go through it. But when you're reading something that you have the idea of, you kind of understand it, you can read through it fast, and sometimes if there's a word, you can, like, take 2 seconds to look at it, figure it out, and then keep going.
Yeah. I mean, I guess for, like, here, let's do, like, a comparison of, like, normal person and then us.
Okay. Like, a normal person, if they were to read a picture book. Yeah. It's an easy book, and they could probably read it really fast, like probably in under 5 minutes. But for us, if... It takes
longer for me to read.
Exactly, same here.
But the thing is, like, what I've learned from the teachers always pressuring me was I take my time with everything, but I understand it like nobody else. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm, like, really in depth in it. I think it's a mixture of just me and my disability, but it's nothing like a big disability. I'm just saying it a lot just to say it, but it's very casual. So I'm just gonna point that out there.
For me, it's not only because that I have the smallest lisp.
Yeah.
I'm also dyslexic.
Yeah, so I'm 10 times harder than...
Exactly. So, like, if I see an A and an O, if it's lowercase, I'll mix it up. But if it's, like, a D or a B, when it's lowercase, sometimes I can't even tell the difference. So let's say I'm looking for the word bee, like a bumblebee. I'll say something like dumblebee or something. Yeah. And then I feel so dumb about it, because I'm like, all these other kids can read it like so normal. What's wrong with me? And that was a big thing for me growing up. So I would always, like, put myself down and be like, you're not going to be as smart as other kids, blah, blah. And then I kind of realized, like, people have disabilities and they have, like, learning errors all the time. But when they believe in themselves, they can get past it.
They could do anything. I mean, I feel like kids that have disabilities are, like, kids like us that we've been through, like, maybe hard times or, like, either, with our learning or, in the real world, I just did, like, I feel like I have tics now. I'm sorry. I'm, like, I just swinged my head all of a sudden. That what was I saying?
Sorry, we saw something out the window.
We're just, like, looking outside. Hi.
Hola.
There's this family that just moved in, and they keep going in and out, in and out, in and out of the house. I've never seen them stay in that house. It's the weirdest thing. They're always moving.
It takes, like, an army to get me to get out of my bed. Yeah. I don't know how people can be so active.
And they have, like, 1 million family members, so... Yeah. It's just, like, how can they even get in a car? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's like those movies where, like, all the clowns will pile into a clown car like it's nothing.
Yeah, or, like, Mary Poppins Bat.
Yeah.
You know, they just keep coming out, like, weird things.
Because, like, when you grow up with a big family, you get used to it. Anyway.
I have a very small family.
Back to the topic.
What were we saying?
We were talking about how if you believe in yourself, you can do it.
Oh, I feel like kids with disabilities, they have usually, if not the best, self-discipline and or motivation to keep going because they dealt through more than the average kid. And the average kid usually actually is behind because we get extra help and we get help to be pushed forward when the truth is we actually are pushed forward a lot. So we actually do better than the average student.
That's actually the annoying thing about being, I don't want to say, like, special, but, like, in a way you are kind of special because if you're unlucky enough to be like us, have, like, learning disabilities, when you're in a class with one solo teacher, they think they have to help you so much because, like, you're incapable of doing it that they forget they have other kids.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say that I'm trying to figure something out. My teacher will try and come help me because they know that I probably need more help than others. They forget that there might be, like, a kid who doesn't know what they're doing, and they need help, but the teacher will ignore them because they think, oh, yeah, you don't have a disability, you don't need my help. But the truth is, they probably need your help more than I do.
Yeah.
So, because, like, you're your own biggest critic. Like, no one will judge you more than you judge yourself.
Well, unless if you have an ego as big as the earth.
That's true.
I'm just going to put that out there. But yes.
Even then, you still judge yourself, just not in a bad way.
I mean, actually, I think I might take that back because egotistical people...
They kind of put themselves in the spotlight. They're like, oh, I'm so amazing. I'm so great.
They have to work hard to get there mentally.
Exactly.
So technically, they are working hard, even though they're technically... not.
Well, you can be egotistical, but if you're at a point where you think you're better than anyone else, that's when I kind of lose respect for you because no one's gonna ever be better than someone else. Like, unless you're a really, really bad person.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're all animals in the end.
Yeah.
Who the heck cares? Like, we're all animals, technically.
Technically, everyone is the same, but also not. Like, everyone feels emotions. Everyone feels upset, feels hurt, feels upset.
There's different breeds of human.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, like, I don't want to compare us to a dog, but I'm going to compare us to a dog.
Well, yeah, because we're animals. We're buddies.
Like, dogs have different breeds.
Yeah.
In the end, they're all dogs. They're all furry little animals. But they act different. Like Caps. Yeah. Caps is a tiny little dog. He's still really energetic, and he doesn't like you.
Alright, my dog really doesn't like I don't know if I like him anymore, but, you know, I'm gonna respect my dog. Yeah. See, that's how you should think about other humans. You know what? I don't like my dog, right? Mm-hmm. But I still respect him because he's still a living...
He's a living creature.
I can't say anything. Yeah, he's a living creature, so...
And, I think people should take lessons because I once heard it in a song. If you're brave enough to love the ones you hate the hardest, then that's a really big thing because, like, you can be upset with someone. Just a couple days ago, I got into a fight with someone I considered my best friend, and we're not friends anymore. People were expecting me to walk into class and, like, give her these dirty looks, but I just pretended she wasn't there because when you fall out of friendship with someone or maybe they stop being friendly to you, that doesn't mean you have to lose your civilization.
Yeah, your manners.
Exactly.
And your self-awareness.
You can be mad on the inside and you can, like, tell yourself, like, oh, I don't like them or, like, they're a bad person or whatever. Yeah. But you should never voice your opinions because you never know what your words could say to someone.
Well, never voice your opinions when you're hurt.
Exactly.
But voice your opinions when it's right.
Unless you're voicing your opinions to get help.
Yes.
So let's say, like, some people are depressed, some people are anxious.
Definitely voice it.
Exactly. Like, unless you're comfortable, you need to talk to someone you trust.
Yeah. Like I said before, talk to don't talk or don't voice your opinions when you're hurt by someone.
Because you will say something you regret.
Yeah. Voice it when you need help.
Because if you don't necessarily... Like, I think everyone at some point in their life... in their life. So, when you need help, you will get it. Because people have that instinct to find help when they need it.
Yeah.
But... sometimes people, they let things slip out of their mouth that they know they can't get back. And a person might seem like it doesn't affect them, but it could affect them way more than you know. Like, you don't know what's going on with that girl in your class, or you don't know what's going on with that guy you saw on the sidewalk. Like, you don't know what's happening in people's life. Even if you've known them for, like, your entire life, even if you were born next to them, like, and became best friends or something.
Yeah.
You can only understand what they tell you.
I mean... I'm thinking before I told you about my dad in that situation, like, I bet you had no clue that happened.
I honestly didn't. Like, I thought maybe your parents were divorced or something. I was like, oh, why have I never seen her dad?
Yeah, and it was a calm divorce.
Then you told me, I'm like, I literally would not have expected that.
Yeah, so it's just the randomness of, like, people's lives. You can't predict that. Because you can't predict the future. I mean, that's like Facts 101. You can't predict the future, you know? But I think a lot of people do think they can. That's not always right.
Well, actually, on that topic, people don't think that they can predict the future. People try to change things to fit what they think is going to happen.
Yeah, for their perfect, ideal future. Okay. That's cool.
Last year, actually, I saw something online. It was like, oh, the world's gonna end on a Saturday. Something.
Yeah, I saw about that.
And on that Saturday, I was like literally laying in bed sobbing because I thought we were gonna die. Then
you can't believe everything.
Exactly. I wake up the next morning. I'm like, you know what? I call complete BS. Like, I'm still here. I'm thriving. I'm having my best life right now.
Yeah. I mean, in the year, I think it's 1969. It's either 69 or 79, but I'm pretty sure it's 69.
69.
Oh, shit. Oh, wait. So, 1969. Shut up. 1969. People really, really believed that the world was going to end because of the elections that was happening at the time. Nixon, I think, was being elected, or like it was when Nixon was, bad. No, I think that was later. That was like in the 70s.
That's when he had
70s. No, it's when he was gonna be elected, and a world war just ended. So people was
in a bad mindset, basically.
Yeah, everyone was in a really bad mindset, and they really thought that in 1969 the world was gonna end. And I read up on that. I'm like, that's the weirdest thing, because so many bad things were happening at that time.
People in 2001, or I think 2011, they thought the apocalypse was gonna happen.
Yeah, so tragic events spark tragic thoughts.
Exactly.
I guess. I mean, duh. I mean,
like, not everyone's gonna be in the best mindset every day. Like,
no.
Like, today we woke up feeling great because we had a good day coming.
Yeah.
But then tomorrow, plus it's gonna be sunny and nice. Weather is gonna be great. But then tomorrow it's gonna be all thunderstorms and bad, and you might wake up feeling a little negative. But that's fine, because you have emotions. You're human.
There's songs on my screen again.
I see BTS.
Right here. And right here. Alright. Yeah. Do you want to go back to the pressure?
Yeah.
Alright.
Completely strayed far away from that.
Yeah. So, how do you think we already talked about this, how we can improve?
Yeah.
We already talked about that.
Teachers should be more patient with their students and try to understand
and open-minded.
Yeah.
Very open-minded. It requires a certain type of person to be a teacher. Like, I've been told by thousands, I'm not joking, thousands of teachers that I should be a teacher, and I'm actually planning on being temporarily one. An English one. So I could support myself before becoming an author. Yeah. But, yeah.
I want to be a medical student because
a pediatrician.
Yeah, I want to be a doctor for children.
But see, look, we're doing kids stuff.
Exactly. And so, like, before I do that, I was thinking for, like, my first 2 years of college, I want to major in art.
Major? Or minor?
Minor.
Minor?
Yeah, I'm going to major in medical, minor in art, because, like, I really like paint and drawing and, like, basically just doing anything I can to, like, flow my creative mind. But I also want to focus on medical, so I figured I'll just do what I love and do both. Like, I'll start off, maybe do some stuff, like, maybe just teach small art classes or something until I work my way up to become a doctor, because to be a doctor, you have to go through 12 years of college. That's, like, all of my years.
You do?
Yeah.
You want to do that?
It's a good job. It's worth it. Plus, I'm going to go to college pretty early on, like, right after I graduate. So, I have my life set out for me. Yeah.
Oh, God. Why? And I just want to also point out, like, kind of from your topic, that a lot of students believe that they cannot achieve what they dream because
That's not true.
Because they're pressured by teachers on what they should do, or that teachers pressure them, kind of saying, no, I don't believe in you.
The thing you should learn is that if a teacher ever tells you they don't believe in you,
or like anybody,
exactly, anybody, your parents, your friends, teachers.
Oh yeah, my friends.
Like, anyone who says they can't believe in you, it doesn't matter unless you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, I'm gonna give an example. My little brother, he's 9. He has this thing where whenever he tells a story, my family doesn't really believe him because he says things that kind of don't seem real, and he only brings them up when, like, we talk about that topic. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty. Sometimes I don't believe him too, but I always tell him, even if I don't believe him, it doesn't matter if other people don't believe you as long as you know you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like, your opinion of yourself is the only one that will actually really matter.
In the end.
Yeah, because in the end, people will leave your life, but you'll always be stuck with you.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what you do, like, anything, you're always going to be with you. Your body, your mind, it's always going to be...
It's not like you could run away from it. Like, even people that do bad things to their bodies or to themselves, it's not like they could run away from it. Death doesn't do anything. It just leaves those angry and sad feelings with the body. I mean, everyone has different beliefs with that, but that's how I believe it. That your soul is intact after you pass.
Even when you leave this earth, whether it be like death or anything like that, you're always gonna have a piece of your, like, you won't have your physical body, but I don't think being you is in your body. I think it's in your mind. Yeah,
it's like your soul. Your soul is different from your body.
Exactly, because your body is just what holds you.
Yeah, it's
kind of like a vessel, I guess.
Or like I don't know, like a ticket holder almost.
Pretty much, yeah. It's kind of like your little holder.
Yeah.
Like, here's an analogy. You're the tea, and the cup is your body.
Yeah.
The main thing is the tea. But
you drink
use
it.
the cup to make it easier.
Yeah.
Exactly. There we go. Your body's a cup of tea.
Yeah. And I think in Hinduism, they believe that after you die, your body goes to another body.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's, honestly, I kind of believe that. Even though I'm not part of that religion, I feel like subconsciously believed that.
But I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like I said, we're all animals, so we die here.
Yeah, and, like, for me, personally, I don't like to think too much on the topic of death and life and, like, the afterlife, because
it's not going to change. It's like, thinking about it is not going to solve anything.
Exactly. Plus, I am, this is a joke, but I am deathly afraid of death. Like, I'm terrified of it. And there have been nights where I think too hard on it. I think about, oh, am I going to go to heaven or hell? Am I going to go anywhere? And then I just lay there in bed and I cry about it. So I don't like talking about it, but there are some times where you just wonder, like, what really is out there? Because my dad, we were in the car one day, we were going to go get stuff, and he told me, Dahlia, did you know that beyond, like, the normal sky we see with all the clouds, there are 7 skies?
Really?
Yeah, he told me. He said you can't see them, but they're there. So I said, wow, I didn't know that. And I don't know if that's, like, a true thing or whatever. It could just be in my religion. But I see that. like, I can imagine that. Because, like, maybe beyond those 7 skies is where people see heaven or something.
Yeah. It's a nice thing to think about.
Yeah.
And then now I'm thinking about those people who deny space isn't real. I'm not even going to start on that.
If you don't believe in space, then you don't believe in me.
And that astronauts never went to space and that the government is a lie.
I think that's pretty dumb.
You know what? I'm not going to point any fingers, but I'm just going to
We're not going to get into that topic
I'm going to mouth something to you. Yeah, anyways. All right. So, yeah. It's just...
Basically, all in all, a lot of people have different beliefs. People have a lot of different mindsets.
Yeah.
In the end, just respect each other.
And a teacher pressuring a student that they should be an exact replica of maybe a good student is so wrong to do. And that's what teachers do in the end.
Exactly.
This is a nice wrap-up.
We love that.
Yeah, we love that. Gotta spill the tea now. But in the end, so, like, teachers believing that a bad student should be they choose to be a bad student when they should be a good one is not good.
I don't believe in that term, a bad student.
Bad and good is very, very...
It's very broad.
Very broad.
Like, if you're a student who disrespects your teacher, doesn't do their work, or doesn't put any effort into it at all...
That's more descriptive.
Then I guess you're a bad student. But if you're just like a student who doesn't have the same mindset, you're still a good student if you try.
Yeah, just because you're different from someone doesn't mean it's bad. That's like a lot of human instincts have to be like are usually involved in that.
Yeah.
And actually, I want to share something. Ever since I was young, I always said that I always wanted to be different from people. It was always in my head that basically saying that if you're different, then you're gonna live in this world. Like, meaning that's the only way you're gonna live, is that if you're different and you're yourself. So I always wanted to be a different person. Like, I always had the desire because I knew I wouldn't be anybody if I weren't different.
Plus, different doesn't always mean bad.
No, for me, like, I viewed it as a very, very good thing. Like that's how you succeed in life, to be different.
Like, my parents do this funny thing where they love calling me weird.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes they mean it in a bad way, but I honestly say thank you, because I take that as a compliment. I don't want to be like everyone else in this world. I want to be my own person. So when they call me weird, I think of that as like, oh, you're unique enough for them to notice that you're different. And I think that's pretty good. Because I like who I am, and I think that's important. You should always like who you are. Even with all your flaws, I think everyone is flawless, because...
It has to involve pressure. Yeah. Social pressure.
Because, like, imagine you live in a world where you look to your left and you look to your right and everyone is the same. It's so boring.
A lot of people say that's a utopia, but at the same time, utopias are dystopias.
Exactly, because, like...
Wait, is that dystopian?
Dystopia is, like...
Dystopia?
Yeah.
Right? Am I saying it right?
Yeah, dystopia and utopia.
Oh, I said it wrong, sorry. So... Yeah. Euphoria. All right. That's the end. No. Yeah, and dystopian and utopian. That a lot of people are like, oh my God, we could all be peaceful, we could all be perfect, whatever, in this beautiful world. I don't know, in the future, that doesn't exist. That's utopian. And if you live in a utopian society, there's a extremely high chance it's also a dystopian society.
All utopia societies have the potential to become dystopian societies.
I think they are dystopian. Like, I feel like they're half and half. Like, they are each other.
With
like,
every good thing, there's always going to be a bad side.
There's no such thing as non-balance, because then this earth, we would not exist.
Yeah, if there doesn't exist.
No balance.
No perfect.
No. Normal doesn't exist either.
Exactly.
So, that's what we believe. If you believe something different, we respect you.
Yeah. Always respect everyone's opinions.
Yes. Donald Trump. All right. So you want to close up?
That was the podcast for today. Lesson learned is, if you are a teacher, never pressure your students. Always try to help them, and always believe in everyone, because everyone has the potential to be something in life. Respect everyone's opinions.
Be open-minded.
If you're unique, embrace it. Don't let anyone put you down. And love yourself. Love myself.
BTS. Alright, so thank you for listening to Podtheyrthem podcast. I'm thinking of the Instagram. I'm sorry. Theyrthem podcast, episode 5. Pretty sure. Our Instagram is Podtheyrthem. Pretty easy to find. Right. And yeah. Do you want to end with like a little note or like sound? Well, what about trying to say the word?
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to figure it out.
How do you... What was the word? No, like with the lisp.
Oh. Iridolf the Clyde.